Hey, David Gish here. I've had some questions from some colleagues about the attendance tool in Canvas. I also saw some comments about it in an email the other day, and that went out to all the faculty. And so I thought I'd make a quick video about some things about the attendance, and I'm sure there are other great videos out there on YouTube as well. But I'll just give you my short perspective here. So first of all, the attendance tool is not automatically turned on. So I'm in an online class, which I haven't set it up in because I don't need to, but I'll just walk through it. And so we'll go into settings here. We're going to go into navigation, and you need to enable the attendance tool. So first of all, if you don't see it, you have to do that. So settings, navigation, and enable. All right, so that will put it on, but don't forget, scroll down and save. I always forget that part. All right, not today though, not today. All right, under modules, I can click on modules. I guess I don't need to click on modules. It actually already popped up. So if it doesn't pop up, you could refresh your page, or like I was going to click on modules, which sort of respools everything, but there you go. It's under here now. So here's attendance, and if I go in there, I should see all my students, and I'm graying out their names just for privacy purposes, but there they are, and so I have a nice class list. Now, if you want to do grades, if I go over to assignments, let's say you want to assign points for attendance. If you look under assignments, which remember assignments is kind of in some ways effectively your grade book in terms of categories and where everything goes, there is no assignments listed. Yeah, I got a lot of assignments in this class, but there is no assignments thing listed yet. Okay, so one quirk here is it's not going to show up, and I know I'm scrolling super fast, you can't see it, but trust me, it's not there. It's not going to show up until you actually grade somebody for attendance. So if I go back to attendance, I need to actually give somebody a grade. So I'm going to give this person here a check. I'm going to give this person, let's see here, like a yellow check, so that's like half points or they're late. Okay, and now that I've done that, if I go back to assignments, because now it's going, oh, you want to grade this, it's going to now pop up under assignments. So let's see where that's at. I don't know if it's at the top. I'm guessing it's at the bottom. So if I scroll all the way down, let's see if it's down here somewheres. No, not seeing it. Oh, it's somewhere around here. Maybe it was at the top. Ah, there it is. It dumped into this general assignments bucket, and you can see here it's called roll call attendance. Okay. So if you want this to fall into a certain category, so like my gradebook, I have set up with groups, and maybe I have an attendance in participation bucket, you would want to create that group and weight it, and then you could drag this into that group. Also, just so you know, you can assign points to this, but the points just stay a general amount, and it's going to then divvy up how many of our attendances you take over time. It's going to piece that out by points. So in other words, if I leave this as 100 points and I take attendance 50 different times, then each of those times would be worth 2 points, right? So if I take, make it 100 points, and then I take attendance 25 times, then each of those times will be worth 4 points each. And so it just automatically divvies it up. You can't like assign a certain amount of points per class or whatever. You kind of need to think that out ahead. So, for example, I assign 4 points per class. Then I go through and figure out how many classes are we going to have. And so then I just take that times 4. And then that's what I put in for the number of points. And so that's what we do. Also, it automatically, if you're present, you get full points. If you're late, you get half points. If you're not there, it's 0. And that's how it kind of grades per day. And I don't think you can change that, not to my knowledge. So, and you can just click on edit right there and change those points. There are more options, but it doesn't really add a whole lot extra of options there. So that's kind of the points part. And again, you'll want to drag this element into a bucket and do that. Now again, I have the names grayed out here, but now I can undo these. But once you've done it, clicked on these once, that automatically will put that grading element into your assignment items. Here's another cool feature. If you go to class up here in this tab, you can actually edit a seating chart, and you can literally drag these names out there. Now I know you can't see what I'm doing very well because again I'm trying to gray these names out for privacy, because I've asked these students if I could use them as my guinea pigs. But I am dragging these names out, and then once you're done you can switch back to take attendance, and then you can actually, with this class tab selected, take your attendance off the seating chart. And you can always go back in and move people around and whatnot, and add them back in and all those fun things. One interesting tool about the seating chart is it's not retroactive. So if we're like 6 classes in and I created the seating chart, and if I scroll backwards in time up here, that seating chart's not there. So you can see it's blank. But if I go back to present day, it's there, and it's there in the future. So that's one little quirk, if that matters or not. But you can also toggle back to the list view as well, and do attendance that way. So that's the attendance feature. Otherwise, I think there isn't a whole lot of other things you can do in here. You can try to adjust some things in roll call settings. So like lateness, yeah, you can adjust the lateness. So like I just do 50%. You can also say do not account attendance towards final grade, just to really make sure that it's not going in as part of your grade. But and that might be really smart if you're doing a points method. But again, I do weighted, so I just make sure it's in the proper group. Or if I don't want to count it towards my grade, I just make sure it's not in a group that is being graded. So kind of different ways to think about it. All right, anyhow, that's basically it with the attendance tool. The only other thing I would say is I did have one day when I came in here and it wasn't working for a class, but then the next class I had, it was working. So there was a little blip in the matrix, if you will, and it was having some technical issues. But I've only had that happen once this semester for one class on one day, and otherwise it's worked all semester, and seems to be working great in the gradebook and all of that. So, all right. Anyhow, let's call it a day on this video. I hope this helped, and I hope you have a good rest of your term.